Hello bankers, a very good evening to all of you. Welcome back. So आशा करते हैं आप सभी लोग काफी अच्छे होंगे. So guys, in this particular video, we are going to decode the JAIIB May 2026 exam syllabus. We will be going through all the four subject, all the four module of each subject, and each and every topic and subtopic. So थोड़ा सा I'll try to help you the most important areas from each and every module and subject, and we will talk about these subtopics also and your core preparation strategy for next 75 to 80 days. तो कहाँ पे फोकस करना है, किन एरियाज पे ज़्यादा फोकस करना है, वो सारी चीज़ें जो हम लोग यहाँ पे डिस्कस करने वाले हैं, राइट. एंड सो एज वी ऑल हैव एग्जाम डेट विद अस, तो मैंने एक पहले भी सेशन किया था, वहाँ पे हमने इसको थोड़ा सा डिस्कस किया था. So what I have told you कि your first exam INIFS आपका which is scheduled for 3rd May and 9th and 10th May, ठीक है, back to back these two examination. So you have to be very careful around these particular thing. Then finally we have 17th May आपका RBW. So you have to start with INIFS and AFM as of now, because both the subject which include many terminologies where you have to build your concept. देखो बिना कॉन्सेप्ट्स के आपका थोड़ा सा डिफिकल्टीज होंगी, एंड आई डो नॉट वांट कि आपका आप आधे अधूरे प्रिपरेशन के साथ यहाँ पे जाएं. कॉन्सेप्ट मींस व्हाट, वो हम लोग आज यहाँ पे अच्छे से डिटेल में डिस्कस करेंगे, ठीक है. व्हाट इज द बेसिक रिक्वायरमेंट इवन एट द सब टॉपिक लेवल, ठीक है. सो व्हेन इट कम्स टू INIFS and AFM, if you'll start these two and make a target ki like by 15th of March or 15th to 20th of March, you are completing these two subjects. Then आपका next 15 days you can focus on RBW, sorry PPB. Then first week or first 10 days of the April you will be completing your RBWM, right? That is manageable. Then आपका you will be doing one revision, and then finally the exam week you will be revising आपका INIFS. Why these two subjects that I have already explained you, right? So INIFS, this is your first subject where you have to have scored very good. This will boost your confidence and it will help you to prepare for two subjects in the coming week. AFM is full of concept. We have 31 units part of this particular subject, 35 units आपका, ठीक है. And all the concept, all the subject, they are including some sort of concept areas and all. So you cannot ignore the concept part. If you follow the concept things, this will be the maximum scoring subject, right? So we will be starting with your the very first आपका INIFS. So when it comes to INIFS, we have four subject, four module आपका. Module A, which is all about Indian economic architecture, the basics about the economy. So you have to go through the basic summary and practice as much as you can. Module B is full of concept based. So here you have the basic terminologies which is related to banking and economy, like demand and supply theories of interest, monetary policy, fiscal policy, inflation, money determination, and everything is part of this one. So full of concept. If you have conceptual clarity, you will be able to score maximum. Module C, it can be driven through the practice. Module D आपका where you have to make a combination of concept as well as practice. We have 17 units which are generally part of this particular module. So you will see variety of question for half marks, 1 marks and 2 marks. But when it comes to module B, mostly question are for 1 marker and 2 marker question. Again, A आपका and C, you will see 1 marks and half marks question, but they are like mostly statement driven and all, right? So let's go through the first module आपका. So I'll be uploading this PDF also, so you can go through in detail. So first आपका overview of Indian economy when it comes to this particular one. So here we have the areas like structural changes in Indian economy, evolution of Indian economy, basic characteristics of Indian economy pre-British period, economy till आपका 2008 and after. Okay, this is the one. You'll hardly guess half in 1 marks question that is driven based on the data itself. So initially, if you ignore and with the practice, it can be आपका done. When it comes to planning, economic planning in India, so this include आपका overall definition and all. So we have two areas. One is 5-year plan, planning commission. Another side is Niti Aayog. Two question for 2 to 3 marks. So which is आपका economic planning, history of planning, ठीक है. Objective of economic planning, this get asked many times. Types of planning, and then we have financial resources. This is very important subtopic under this particular one. This is आपका as that is syllabus which is given by IIAPF, right? Then sectors of Indian economy, 2 marks question for sure. ठीक है. So role and importance of primary, secondary and tertiary. So basically the differences between all these. So most of the time one question will be there for the differences between primary, secondary or quaternary and quinary, which is a subsection or subsectors under your आपका tertiary sector. ठीक है, तो तृतीय क्षेत्र के अंदर ये दोनों आते हैं. Differences आपका the revolutions. ठीक है, so different revolutions आपका this also get asked many times. And agriculture and the others secondary sector, sunrise sector. ठीक है, sunrise sector again another important subtopic from, you'll get one question whether it is based on sunrise sector or आपका organized and unorganized sector and their feature itself. Now when it comes to priority sector and MSME, again 2 question for 2 marks or 3 marks. So definition and role of priority sector, list of priority sector. तो यहाँ पे you do not have to take that much of tension because it will also get repeated in PPB. So while you are preparing, so prepare like for the PPB because that is in detail. So अगर आप इसको skip भी करते हैं चलेगा. But MSME आपका जैसे definition, the new definition of MSME, they can give you in small cases and all. You'll definitely get question based on both. But your PPB preparation will help you in your IN IFS itself. But MSME, आपका role of MSME significance and आपका MSME related schemes, that is आपका bit important from this particular one. When it comes to infrastructure, including social infrastructure, one question or 2 question for half marks you can expect based on this particular one. So infrastructure, the concept आपका infrastructure, hard infrastructure, soft infrastructure, and there is one another categorization आपका, ठीक है. So that must be written in this particular one. ठीक है, health infrastructure. So concept of social and social infrastructure, so that the categorization they generally ask. Then we have globalization, impact of globalization on Indian economy. So deglobalization, fair globalization, and आपका हाँ globalization in reverse gear. So that is something which is happening right now worldwide. So that is called deglobalization. So that is something that can be asked in your upcoming examination. Economic reforms, this is very important आपका topic under module A. So where we have economic reforms आपका real sector, that new economic policy 1991-92. ठीक है. Then we have financial sector reforms. So they have given update about all the areas which are generally part of this one. So that is something which is very important. Foreign trade policy. So if you open the Macmillan book, they have given the last foreign trade policy 2015-20. You do not have to go through that one. The current foreign trade policy is 2023 and that is in a continuous manner. So you do not have to stick to that old content, just skip that particular portion. Foreign trade policy agendas, who decide the foreign trade policy like DGFT and the role of RBI and others, that is something which is very important from this particular one. And one question you will see around aapka FDI versus FII, or FDI, the different type of FDI like brownfield, greenfield, or your joint ventures, these 3 categories which you will see in that particular case itself, right? Economic growth versus development, that also get asked from this unit. International organizations, when it comes to the World Bank, IMF, WTO, the 90% time you'll get question based on this. They have given some aapka the economic the groups also, so you can go through those particular one during your exam week or month. Climate change आपका goal number 13, one question, or India's contribution. How India is dealing with this particular one. Issue facing Indian economy, again 1 to 2 question like jobless growth, this get asked. Migration issues and others आपका they generally get asked from this particular one. So this is all about your module A. Let's go through the module B. So module B, when it comes to it is related to economic concept related to banking, full of concept based. So first आपका fundamental of economics, one question around your economics definition like Adam Smith definition, Marshall's, and the other definition which is part of your curriculum. Sometime आपका differences between micro and macro, and one question around type of economy, आपका market command and your mixed economy, right? Supply and demand, this unit is very important. If you are good with this, you will be easily able to handle आपका unit number 14 itself, right? So supply and demand schedule for factor determining demand curve, shift in demand. So demand and supply, and the law of demand, law of supply, factor affecting law of demand and supply, and equilibrium. These are the 3 points. Money supply and inflation, again 2 to 3 marks. That M1, M2, M3, M4 you have to remember. And inflation, causes of inflation. Okay, that is very important. Okay, cost push and demand pull. Mostly you'll see the question around this. CPI, new base year आपका, and the other things which got introduced, that you have to focus. Theories of interest, again very important unit. In total, supply of demand and theories of interest, 5 to 6 marks question will be there, and mostly they'll be applied in the form, right? So here, when it comes to theories of interest, Keynes preference theory of rate of interest, the motive behind saving money, yeah, so transaction, contingency, and others. Then aapka we have your IS and LM curve, which is also part of this particular one, and the aapka the kind of the equilibrium points and all, they generally comes under this. Business cycle, very easy one, 1 marks on an average. You have to go through the all the 4 cycle of the economy. Monetary policy, fiscal policy, this you will find easy. FRBM is very important, and monetary policy tool which is given in your curriculum. National income आपका, computation also, all the 3 methods very important. Budget आपका, so budget, the fundamentals or how government is coming, like you do not have to go through the detailed announcement during the your union budget. The major one you have to capture, which is related to your curriculum. Then we have Indian financial architecture when it comes to this. So Indian financial architecture and overview. This is completely static subject. As much as you will follow or practice, that will help you a lot, right? So here, Indian banking system and overview. If you'll skip this one, it will work, because in the remaining units, this will get covered. Indian banking system, aapka, sometime history based question, like they ask about the nationalization related areas in the past examination. Then we have BR Act and RBI Act. So detailing आपका section wise, better to go with the practice. DFIs, when it comes to DFI, stick yourself आपका historical background, just practice through the unit wise practice. Do not go for any sort of rectification. Focus on NAFID. NAFID is very very important, right? Then apart from NAFID, आपका the other code like EXIM, NHB, your SIDB, and NABARD. These are the 4 ones, right? Microfinance institution, very important one. So a Grameen Bank model, one question every time. Self-help group linkage program, very important. JLGs, very important. Regulatory frameworks, आपका, that is very important. RBI directions, that microfinance limit and others, everything, the loan and the fair practices, very very important one. NBFC, then these back to back 2 units are very very important one. Smaller one, and you will get APA. You, if you are okay with those particular guidelines and all, you will be able to score good marks from this. So non-banking companies evolution, role of promoting inclusive this, to ignore all these areas. Regulatory oversight is very important. Types of NBFC, which is आपका fund based, non fund based, and based on activities. That categorization and their regulators is very very important one. Fund concept of net own funds and your own fund आपका, that's this get asked many times. Fair practice is very easy, and you will easily able to manage this one. Scale based classification or regulation is again important. So then insurance companies, you can ignore this particular one just with the practice one. Module D also, it will be part of your curriculum. Indian financial system, regulator and role, just have a look. Reforms in banking sector. So again, you'll see the same. Narsimham Committee 1, Narsimham Committee 2, and there's some institutions and others. NEFID, again, it is getting repeated, so you can avoid this one. Module D, now it includes 17 units, so you have to be very careful around this. So overview, if you want to skip, you can, because these things will get repeated in the coming 16 units. Money market and capital market. So money market instrument, capital market instrument. Fixed income securities, aapka, bonds and their valuation theorem is very important part of this one. So from money market, all the instruments like call, notice and term money, the prudential guidelines, how much banks they can borrow under these particular one, and the features of other instrument like commercial paper, the rating requirements, or up more than 1000 crores, two ratings, whichever is lower, those kind of things they generally get asked from this one. Capital market, आपका again 3 to 4 marks from this one, again 5 to 6 marks question will be there. Capital market is आपका where equity and debt, and the red herring prospect that get asked many time or almost every time, demat or आपका retail direct scheme and others, which is part of, which must be part of your debt instrument. Yes. So securities valuation theorem, very important. Auction of government securities, primary dealers, derivative, आपका SRO, this get asked. Retail direct scheme is very important, and the other feature. Capital market again here. So we have SEBI and QIPs. Every time you'll get question. Eligibility norms for making public issue, that is very important. So type of capital issue आपका, that is very important, and the guidelines. Forex market again, आपका forex, where you will see आपका forex market characteristics, they ask one question around this particular one. And forex market participation, ARR is very important subtopic from this one. Again SRO, that is the Foreign Exchange Dealer Association of India, the role and functions that get asked many times. When it comes to interconnection of various markets, so here we have areas like ACU and others. So interconnectedness and the benefits and other feature of interconnectedness market. Merchant banking services, again very important. Services under this particular one, fair practices, regulation, the qualification and others. Derivative, again very important unit from this one. So type of derivatives, OTC versus exchange, forward versus future, or the features of different derivative like future और आपका any जैसे credit default swap, RBI guidelines, regulation and others, that generally comes from this particular one, right? So factoring, forfeiting and trades, so all the three subjects taken. Factoring and forfeiting, one question for 2 marks. The differences between these two, or one question आपका based on factoring and forfeiting. Another question is around the trades itself, right? So you can avoid the history and other portion आपका, ठीक है? So factoring, what is factoring? Mechanism आपका factoring, ठीक है? Trades, forfeiting, differences part is very important one from this particular one. Venture capital, the entire process, venture capital character sketch. So stages of venture capital is very important. Okay. So then we have regulatory aspect from the SEBI side itself. Leasing and hire purchase, the differences or the legal aspect of leasing, regulatory aspect of leasing, hire purchase and आपका legal aspect of hire purchase. ठीक है, in their book आपका lesser and lessee, how they are taking those particular one, very important. Credit rating agencies, here we have credit rating agencies and credit ratings. आपका company CIC also part should be part of this one. तो history आपका characteristics of credit ratings, credit benefit of credit rating, factor considering आपका, this is important one, credit rating symbols, rating outlook, regulation of CRAs, then आपका credit information companies, their list also they generally ask from your book itself. Mutual funds, type of mutual funds, NAV, these are some important subtopics from this particular one. So classification, riskometer also get asked many times. NAV is again important subtopic from this one. And the different concept of load, no load, strategies and others, आपका you have to go through this. Insurance product, from here principles, fundamental principles of insurance and classification of insurance, type of insurance, businesses, and social security schemes आपका, they are very important from this. Pension funds, similar to this. So pension product, different type of pension product, employee provident funds and PPF आपका, insurance annuity scheme, all the schemes you have to go through. Para banking and financial, the other services apart from the traditional banking, they generally comes under this. Real estate investment funds and this, again you will get आपका 1 to 2 marks based question based around this one. ठीक है? So these are some important topic, all the topics which is given in your curriculum and the subtopics also. Okay, so what you have to prepare from this one. Now when it comes to the another subject, PPB. Now when you prepare for PPB, your challenge is 2 subjects. Okay, these are the 2 subjects which you have, where you have to focus, 2 modules आपका, because they cover 41 units, means about 80 to 90% of your entire curriculum. 55 units are there. The challenge is आपका these seems bit boring while you study. I'll be not suggesting कि go in detail आपका वो book के through या concept के through. No, not suggested. What you have to do, you have to go through the concept summary of each and every topic. Once you have to go through, okay, before practicing, then you have to increase the number of practice in this particular case, right? तो जनरल बैंकिंग ऑपरेशन एंड लीडिंग ऑपरेशन जस्ट टारगेट मॉड्यूल वाइज. एक मॉड्यूल आपने कर लिया तो यू हैव टू बी लाइक कि 35-40% डन. द अनदर मॉड्यूल्स आपका 70-80% डन. दीज आर वेरी इजी, दे कैन बी कवर ड्यूरिंग द एग्जाम टाइम ऑल्सो. सो बट यू विल बी सीइंग आपका क्वेश्चन लाइक 70% क्वेश्चन विल बी बेस्ड ऑन दिस. देन आपका 15% हियर एंड द रिमेनिंग आपका फ्रॉम हियर इटसेल्फ. ठीक है, 15 to 20% देन आपका रिमेनिंग हियर, राइट? So downside 70% you'll get from this particular, these two modules, you know. So here you have a list. Now I'll not suggest कि आपका you just have to go through the summary lines. ठीक है, you just what you can do, just make a focus reading. ठीक है, just go through the things. Believe me, while you go through the pointers, you will feel कि like you are missing out what you have read in the past. But the good thing is कि once you will go through the content now, so while you will be practicing, you will be able to recall those things. There is a very thin line between what we do in the branches and what is written in this particular book. So that is something, that thin line can be erased with that single study itself. तो वहाँ पे concepts को एक बार आपको बहुत से मतलब एक बार go through करना है. Just you have to make a target कि like you just reading out that particular documents. Believe me, this help a lot. And then unit wise practice is very important for PPB subject because you cannot remember all the guidelines which are generally given in this. Okay, so module A, like one question or two question, the bank customer relationship, always you'll get based on this particular one. Then we have I'll be not listing out ki what is important, what is not. You have to go through once after. Okay, please, this is my suggestion. AFM, AML, KYC, operational aspect of KYC, opening account of various type of customers, operational aspect of deposit account, clearing and collection, special relationship, FEMA. Then we have operational aspect of NRI, currency, and then we have cash management services, payment collection check, then a responsibility of paying bank, responsibility of collecting bank, ancillary services, financial inclusion, customer service guidelines, duties and right of the customers, grievance redressal, आपका कंज्यूमर प्रोटेक्शन एक्ट 2019 एंड आपका आरटीआई एक्ट 2015. तो दिस इज द मॉड्यूल ए. सो यू जस्ट हैव टू फोकस ऑन द रीडिंग पार्ट. देन प्रैक्टिस के साथ यू विल जितना ज्यादा प्रैक्टिस करेंगे, ठीक है, द प्रैक्टिस एज मच एज यू कैन फ्रॉम मॉड्यूल ए एंड मॉड्यूल बी. मॉड्यूल बी आपका फंक्शंस ऑफ बैंक, सो प्रिंसिपल ऑफ लैंडिंग, डिफरेंट टाइप ऑफ बोरोवर्स, appraisal आपका. then we have operational aspect of loan, आपका collaterals and their characteristics, different mode of charging securities. then we have documentation, non performing assets, important laws related to recovery, contract of indemnity, contract of guarantee and bank guarantee, letter of credit, deferred payments, law of bill finance, credit cards, home loans and personal loan, consumer loans, priority sector advances, एग्रीकल्चर फाइनेंस, MFI आपका, MSMEs. देन वी हैव sponsored, government sponsored scheme, self help groups, you know. Module C, technology. Now if you have done IT or BTech IT, or if you are working in this particular field, just one reading. If you are completely or commerce or other background, okay, you haven't read after at these particular thing, still no worries, very basic one. Okay, तो यहाँ पे आपका एसेंशियल ऑफ बैंक कंप्यूटराइजेशन, CBS एनवायरनमेंट, आपका अल्टरनेटिव डिजिटल बैंकिंग द टूल्स विच वी यूज, डेटा कम्युनिकेशन एंड आपका डिजिटल पेमेंट सिस्टम NPCI एंड देयर प्रोडक्ट. देन वी हैव इम्पैक्ट ऑफ टेक्नोलॉजी, सिक्योरिटी कंसिडरेशन एंड मिटिगेशन मेजर एंड ऑपरेशनल एस्पेक्ट ऑफ दिस. तो अब यहाँ पे ना वन रिक्वायरमेंट इज दैट पेशेंस रीडिंग इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. ठीक है, पेशेंस नहीं है तो गड़बड़ हो जाएगा मामला. ठीक है, तो यू हैव टू हैव गो थ्रू ऑल दीज पर्टिकुलर थिंग्स वंस, एंड बिलीव मी, वंस यू डन विद दैट रीडिंग्स पार्ट ना, देन आप प्रैक्टिस करेंगे. आपका मे बी फर्स्ट टाइम में यू स्कोर 30 आउट ऑफ 100 क्वेश्चन आपका. ठीक है, इन सेकेंड अटेम्प्ट बिलीव मी योर स्कोर विल बी आपका 50. देन 70, इस तरीके से वो इंक्रीमेंटल होगा, ठीक है। तो व्हाट यू हैव टू डू, यू हैव टू अटेम्प्ट, यू हैव टू रीअटेम्प्ट, ठीक है। लाइक लेट्स से जो ब्रांचेस में आप कभी भी फ्री होते हैं तो लाइक यू कैन solve those unit wise quizzes, they will help you out in this particular case itself, right? तो ethics आपका this portion 7 to 8 marks question, mostly question will be applied in the form. So we have ethics, business ethics and banking, ethics for individual label, dilemma, work ethics and workplace, banking ethics, these are the part of this particular one. थर्ड यूनिट आपका जहां पे कॉन्सेप्ट्स बहुत ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है, दैट इज योर आपका AFM पेपर 3. So here we have four modules. Module A, which is all about the introduction to accounting. B is आपका financial statement. C is आपका mostly numerical you'll see based on this particular unit. And D is आपका all about costing. Taxation, they just have given an introduction to income tax as well as GST. You'll get आपका 3 to 4 marks question based on taxation. Remaining आपका 15 to 16 marks question will be based on your costing side, or it can be more than that also, right? Here you will see some numerical portion, and this is also, numericals are also there, but mostly they are आपका concept driven. If you know those particular concept very well, you will be able to make journal entries or the other part also, right? So when it comes to unit 1, now here module A, sorry, ठीक है. So accounting, so definition scope, from here you have to study आपका कि first 2-3 units you have to go through in detail. Reason being, this will help you to आपका understand the upcoming units and all, right? तो यहाँ पे थोड़ा सा डिटेलिंग में जाएं, जैसे accountancy process, then we have your bookkeeping versus accountancy, the historical IFRS versus GAAP और Indian accounting standard. दो अभी पिछले कुछ समय से उन्होंने इंडियन अकाउंटिंग स्टैंडर्ड को टच नहीं किया है, अकाउंटिंग स्टैंडर्ड्स पे ही वो क्वेश्चन पूछते हैं, ठीक है। तो दैट इज समथिंग आपका, ठीक है। सो दैट इज लाइक यू विल गेट एटलीस्ट 3 to 4 marks question around these particular, ठीक है। डिफरेंट टाइप ऑफ अकाउंटिंग्स ऑल्सो, like stewardship and others, fair value accounting, inflation accounting, that also get asked in your examination. Basic of accountancy procedure, again 3 to 4 marks. Concepts and convention, at which stage, आपका recording stage and reporting stage, all the concepts and convention very very important from this unit, ठीक है। When it comes to the next one, maintenance of cash book, you will see आपका there are many question around this particular one, at least 5 to 6 question, but these are you mostly for half marks, where they will be asking you to conduct the entry. One question for 2 marks around that type of accounts, real, nominal, personal, their golden rule. And another question, आपका 4 to 5 questions for half marker question each, means overall 2 to 5, 2 to 2.5 marks, where they'll ask you to conduct the entry, कि which account will get debited, which account will get credited आपका from this one, ठीक है। Then we have BRS, the final balance as per the cash book and passbook, basic BRS rule that get asked many आपका in this time, ठीक है। Trial balance आपका rectification of errors. If you good with this, you will be able to handle these kind of things also. Depreciation, mostly the things will be in numericals. 3 methods you have to build, 4 methods are given in your curriculum. You have to build your concept very well, and in every shift after you'll see 2 questions for 3 marks or 4 marks based on the depreciation. You have to fundamentally understand, you will be able to solve the question. Capital and revenue expenditure, 1 marker question, differences between these two or the entries which you have to find out. Bill of exchange आपका again same, the features, terminologies given in your book आपका, that is important. Operational aspect and back office function. Audit and inspection again आपका bit important one, different type of audits. Then module B, financial statement and core banking. Balance sheet equation, 1 question for 1 marks. Preparation of final accounts, trial balance, adjustment entries. Preparation of financial statement आपका from the trial balance, means profit and loss account and balance sheet and others. Company account 1, company account 2, बहुत ज़्यादा डिटेलिंग में है. Impact of Indian accounting standard, तो वहाँ पे वो from first unit they'll be asking accounting standard, from here they'll be asking you Indian accounting standard. Cash flow, fund flow आपका 90% around the cash flow, numerical or the fundamental aspect, or 1 question, the differences between cash flow and fund flow. Final account of a banking company, the detailing. Then we have आपका core banking system in computerized environment, 1 readings, that is more than enough, right? Module C, very very important one, because numericals are there, okay? Overview, overall, if you want to skip you can. Ratio analysis, this is something if you are preparing for, like it will help you in CIB also, and it will help you if you go for regulatory bodies examination and all. Okay? So there are different type of ratios. You have to limit yourself the ratios which are given in your book itself. So that is the one. Calculation of interest in annuities. This is also the calculation of future value, present value, and others. Or we have compound interest, simple interest rule of 75, or a present value ordinary annuity, future value ordinary annuity, because you will be getting one case study around this particular one for 2 marks, 100%. Then we have calculation of YTM, bonds valuation. So face value of, sorry, the bond value, YTMs and other areas. So here आपका type of bonds, optionality, valuation of bonds with semi and current bonds, YTM. We have yield to maturity, theorems of bond value, that is something important from this. Arithmetics आपका, where we have forward rate and the other features of the forex. Capital structure, where we have theories like capital structuring, net income approach, operating income, and traditional. These are the three one. And what are the factors? And weighted average cost of capital, one numericals will be around this particular one. Very important one. Capital, आपका investment decision, again one numerical based on NAV or IRR or payback period. So that is something which will be part of this. Mostly it is around the NPV, net present value. Then we have equipment leasing, lease finance, easy. Working capital, easy. Derivative, if you have read this particular one in your INIF as well, this will you do not have to go through this particular one again, right? Module D आपका taxation. So when it comes to this income tax, and this is just the introduction part. Okay? You just have to go through the content or the latest tax and GST system updates and all. That's it. Okay? That will help you in this case. 4 to 5 marks question around this. ये अपने आप में पूरे subject है, but they have just given the introduction part and all, and you have to stick yourself आपका till there only, right? Costing आपका, here you will get 2 to 3 mark question. Cost accounting management, cost financial accounting. Then we have costing methods, again आपका 3 to 4 questions for 3 to 4 marks. Then we have standard costing and marginal costing. Mostly the numericals will be around this, like break-even point calculation, cost volume profit analysis, variance analysis, margin of safety. All these things comes from these two units आपका. Then budget and budgetary control, fully आपका fundamentals. One study is more than sufficient for this one. So it is all about your paper 3. Now let's come to the paper 4, the savior. So RBWM, retail banking and wealth management. Module B, which is आपका link with PPB. If you have read PPB, module B, A and B very well, you will be able to cover आपका 70-80% of this. ठीक है? Introduction of retail banking, only 4 units are there. These two are game changer. Mostly question will be around this. ठीक है? Marketing support services and आपका wealth management. The good thing about RBWM is whatever given in book or the statements or the practice you will see, same things आपका it will be in examination and it will not confuse you. But if you have gone through the content once, PPB में क्या होता है कि there are lots of guidelines, 55 units हैं, तो वो confusion पैदा करता है. But यहाँ पे we have 30 units आपका. If you go through those particular one very well, believe me, you will be able to solve. पिछले 2 सेशन से इसका लेवल अप किया गया है. ठीक है, पहले बहुत ज़्यादा ईजी होता था, बट अभी यहाँ पे स्पेशली दिस वेल्थ मैनेजमेंट वाला पार्ट और द केस स्टडीज, 3-4 केस स्टडीज यू विल सी around the valuation of land or properties and others that make it bit difficult. Otherwise, like manageable, right? So module A, which is all about introduction to retail banking, mostly आपका branch profitability. ठीक है, 2 to 3 marks question based on this, where you have to calculate ROA, ROE, and net आपका gross profit, net profit or operating profit from this one. ठीक है, then others आपका introduction. So I'll suggest कि go for all the 4 units very well, because ये सारी चीजें आपका these things will get repeated with the coming units and all. ठीक है, so you do not have to go through again and again, so you just have to focus on the important part from that particular unit. Module B, which is as what I have told you कि if you have done आपका थिंग्स विद मॉड्यूल सॉरी पीपीबी सब्जेक्ट, ये आपको यहाँ पे बहुत हेल्प करेगा. ठीक है, सो रिटेल प्रोडक्ट एंड रिकवरी आपका रिटेल रिक्वायरमेंट प्रोडक्ट डेवलपमेंट प्रोसेस, ये कंप्लीटली न्यू है. क्रेडिट स्कोरिंग रिपीट है, इंपॉर्टेंट आपका रिपीट है, रिपीट है. ठीक है, रिपीट है, रिपीट है, रिपीट है, आपका रिपीट है एंड रिपीट है एंड रिपीट है. सारे रिपीटेशन आपको मिलेंगे एंड यू विल बी इजीली एबल टू हैंडल देम. मार्केटिंग सर्विसेज आपका सपोर्ट सर्विसेज, मार्केटिंग, इंट्रोडक्शन ऑफ मार्केटिंग, जैसे मार्केटिंग मिक्स के ऊपर एवरी टाइम यू विल सी द क्वेश्चन. डिलीवरी चैनल्स, अगेन आपका फिजिकल, डायरेक्ट एंड द अदर ब्रांच लेआउट एंड अदर्स. Delivery model, very important again. So this is something module C and module D you have to go in detail. Module A, C, D. B आपका अगर if you have done with the PPB, just skip that particular one as of now. Just try to आपका prepare that particular one with the help of MCQs and all. Wealth management, very very important one. ठीक है. So wealth management, investment management, tax planning, आपका the other areas, additional reading materials, you will see these particular one, that is bit important from this one. ठीक है. So your detailed syllabus, I'll share this PDF also, so you can go through the areas and all. And whatever I have listed down now, your overall subject wise study, start with only 2 subjects. देखो अगर आप 4 सब्जेक्ट के साथ स्टार्ट करोगे ना, यू विल स्टार्ट गेटिंग कंफ्यूज. अभी बिल्कुल अपने डेट, अगर 2 से भी नहीं हो रहा है 1 से स्टार्ट करो, ठीक है. बट यू हैव टू स्टार्ट एनी हाउ, राइट. So start with IFS first, that is your utmost priority. You have to finish that particular one as soon as possible. Or better ki start with 2 subject, take a target till 15 to 20th March. Then आपका remaining 10 to 15 days dedicated for PPB, concept summary, then practice simultaneously, RBWM, and you're done with this particular examination. So what is the requirement? Concept, almost with every subject. Module wise I have shared with you. Then unit wise practice. This will help you in PPB and RBWM, but it will in other subject also for practice and revision. Very important one. Module mock and module revision also you can go for these kind of things. Then eventually we will be also doing these kind of things आपका. So they will help you to आपका build or refine things. See, it is a completely process. पहली बार पढ़ेंगे आपको ऐसा लगेगा कि लाइक कुछ चीजें समझ में कुछ नहीं आया. दैट इज अ पार्ट ऑफ प्रोसेस. ठीक है. लेट्स से यू विल गेट 30-40% हियर, देन आपका एडिशन 10-5%, 10-5%, 10-5%, एंड बिलीव मी इफ यू विल फॉलो दिस वन, आई एम आस्किंग फॉर डेली आपका 1.5 hours and 2 hours. If you give that much from here to till your exam months, believe me, you will be आपका very confident and you will be able to pass examination easily. And these concepts will help you in your CAIIB examination also, right? So now how I'm doing these particular one, if you have taken any paid courses, how you have to follow. First, the live classes which we are doing, you can watch on live or the recorded one also. Okay, so this is the recording slides आपका, ठीक है, and you can join live also. Better to join live, तो interaction भी हो जाएगा. And along with this, you have to watch the AFM recordings, ठीक है, which I have already provided for all the 35 units is there. So you have to go through those particular one and you have to start developing your understanding. Then what I'll do, I'll be coming up with live classes that I have already scheduled. तो वो आपका वहाँ पे कॉन्सेप्ट को ही हम लोग प्रायोरिटी रखेंगे और उसके साथ आपका एक नया सेट ऑफ प्रैक्टिस करेंगे. यूनिट वाइज मॉक टेस्ट आपका आर ऑलरेडी देयर, ठीक है, फॉर 2 set or 3 set are already there. This is 1 set. Similarly, all the 45 units for every subject you will see आपका 3 set or 2 set. Then module revision, that will help you. So this is the sequence which you have to follow for your upcoming days and all, right? तो ये एक थोड़ा सा structured way में many people was getting confused कि how to prepare, where to start in others. So I hope you got some clarity. In short, like what you have to do, IE and IFS you have to watch live, AFM you have to simultaneously watch the recordings. अगर ये भी possible नहीं है, at least आपका IE and IFS you have to follow for the remaining days. Then AFM I'll be doing live. So where we will be covering आपका concept first, concept plus आपका the practice portion and all, because it is completely आपका conceptual and the practice oriented subject. So we will be doing that one. Then PPB, then RBWM. So this way if you will start, believe me, you will be able to complete your curriculum or the overall syllabus which is given by the IIBF, and you will be able to pass examination in a आपका defined manner, right? So I hope you got some clarity. Still, if you are having some doubts and queries, please do let me know in the comment section, or you can connect me over the application itself. So this is it. Wish you all the very best for your preparation, guys. Please start contributing on daily basis. थोड़ा थोड़ा करके आप अगर contribute करेंगे, believe me, we will आपका together make this particular journey successful, और बहुत अच्छे से हम लोग इस एग्जाम को पास कर लेंगे. ठीक है, तो see you in the classes, guys. Bye bye, take care all, have a nice day. Thank you and wish you all the very best.